Alright, you guys, so as promised, I'm going to do a flip through of the Scultura Italiana. This is the volume 2 of the Electa. So, of course, it starts out in Latin, and we're in Michelangelo and Tante. And it goes into detail of Michelangelo, as well as Andrea Pisano. We were in Quercia di Nani, de Bianco, e del Giovanni Ghiberti, like the Maserati Ghiberti, but these are the founders, the founding fathers of those beautiful luxury vehicles. Then it starts discussing David. You know, David did Donatello, the sculpture. And we have, of course, San Giovanni Evangelista per Santa Maria del Fiore. And of course, a lot of these details are in the Italian language. And I absolutely love how beautiful this language is because it cancels out evil and demonic entities. So they go into the detail of Maria Novella as well, and Capella Pazia. I didn't even pronounce Pazia right, but it's Pazzi. Okay, then it goes into the descriptive of analysis of Donatello. And we're doing a flip through, as promised. Alright, so it goes into the liberty, you know, of how those philosophers, liberty was tested throughout those times. And of course they passed their moral dilemmas, and they put the perspective through those sculptures, the Scultura. We had a lot of evangelists and bishops also doing the Scultura. But I did want it to come through to share some time, to share some love, to spare some good energy with you guys in these right now moments. And right now, what the descriptive analysis is discussing is that of Donatello and David and Antonio. You know, they have a whole lot of Antonios back in the day, but each had their own beautiful perspective of those sculptures. All right, so we have Bernardo Rossellino. And I showed you guys a lot of his sculptures. I've been getting some art museum, art gallery, Arte Galleria invites to travel international. So one day I hope I'm able to do so. I'd love to come over there and visit you guys in Italy. I'm grateful for the messages on Facebook. You guys are amazing. Alrighty, so let's get into the sculptures instead of the descriptive analysis because it goes like 40 or 50 pages. Alright, so we have Filippo Brunelleschi. And I said the she in a feminine energy when really it's chi. And look how beautiful that artwork is. All right, now we have Donatello's David, and this is a different aspect, a perspective that we normally see. We see him here with the head down on the side instead of what is normally shared on social media. I'm going to show you the descriptive analysis for those who want to read it. All right, now we have David, a different aspect of him by the same sculpture, Donatello, right? So, of course, this David is when he was in his youth, his prime, and this one is when he was more mature. As you can see, he has a full beard. Now notice they have him in front of the archway. Now I noticed that, and it always piqued my interest in regards to it. So it's like Donatello. You see how the head at the bottom? You know, I've always wondered that, is it two different men or is it the same man, whether it's youth or him as a mature adult, you know? We only get what the historians in Italy tell us, but on a philosophical perspective, is this not David in his youth? Dying to the old self? Or is this the older version of David dying to the old self and embracing the fountain of youth? You know? So we also have David in a younger aspect of youth, like pre-teen, teen, you know? And this particular one is in bronze. Alrighty, so I did get that right. So this is David in his adolescente. I have to slow it down. Adolescente. Oh, look. No, so look at this. Take a look. I love it. So they give us a close-up. Now, this one is Andrea del Verrocchio. This is Andrea's version of David. So we're flipping through different versions of David by different sculptures. Where you been?
What? Football man?
Oh. Your jaw feeling better?
What?
Your jaw feeling better? Alrighty. So we have this perspective of David. He's looking out as opposed to looking down. And with this one, he has on his armor. So it brings me back into in the garden with Adam and Eve, right? They didn't know they were naked until somebody reminded them. So when the science is impure and superior, it will remind you of how the science is impure. So he had to go back to the drawing board. Look at that. Perfect. That's a perfect explanation. So what it looks like was Andrea del Verico took Donatello's perspective and threw clothes on David. So this is where the times had changed, right? So it's like David cut off those who are ahead of him that would be in his way for his leadership. Oh, now we have Donatello again. We have a close-up of David. Look how beautiful that is. So now we have San Giorgio by Donatello. Beautiful. He gives us another aspect of him in his sword and his shield. Thy sword and shield, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Oh wow, take a look at that. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, what would be something that they saw, right? These are philosophical perspectives. So this is the older men sending the younger men to compete. To do the dirty work. And before the dirty work can get aired out, they'll kill that young man. And I read that perspective in one of our old occult sciences book. Oh, now we have the woman. Okay. So this is, of course, these are actually women in leadership that killed those men for the men who were at war and not at home. They were trained on how to battle, to protect their foundation, to protect their legacy, to remove future opposition ahead of time. Ooh. Look at that. Again, we're in Donatello. Oh, look at Jeremiah. I love it. Now, I haven't seen Jeremiah since I took art history at the University of Central Arkansas. And that was in my bachelor's program, 2004 through 2010. And me and my friend Johanna, we had to do a presentation on this one. Very beautiful. All right, so we're still in Donatello. There we go. So we have Bartholomew right here. Look how beautiful that is. Each piece of hair we have Benedetto de Mahano. Now this is marble and that is bronze, but take a look at that. This is the Pietro Mellini. Now we're back at Antonio del Polo. Bernardo Rossellino. Pull it back a little bit. Look at that. Look at the eyebrows. I mean, he captured every line, every wrinkle. We have Mino da Fisole. Take a look at his shirt. I'll pull it up closer. Now there's some paisley. Beautiful. We have Lorenzo di Pietro Dette Il Vescetta. And then look, I wanted to share a clip of that, but the clip, there's no justice in that photo. But take a look at the photo in the book. This is Donatello's pulpito. There we go. I'm gonna go a little bit down. Look at that. Now this is artistry. And they pulled it up closer. Take a look at that. Imagine how long every detail took to create it. Now, no, our older philosophers, they were on some strong drugs back then. They were able to tap in, like tap in. This was when they were using cocaine in a liquid form for they still use recreational drugs, but this is the liquid form back in the day. Look how amazing that is. They pulled it up closer so we were here. We were here. Now we are there. Look at that. Amazing. Now this is Luca della Robbia. And a lot of these artists, these sculptures, they collaborated with one another. Yes, indeed. And again, this is Donatello. These philosophers were so gangster in their artwork. This is spiritual gangster. Like, look at this. Hmm. I'm just trying to tell you. Beautiful. And then we'll just have a flip through of the Scultura Italiana. So we see this aspect, right? Donatello said, hold on, let me go a little bit deeper. Pull it up. Look at that. Every head must bow. A lot of fallen angels, right? Fallen angels or fallen angles. Yes, indeed. Take a look at that. And this is Donatello's resurrection. They can't ascend unless they go through me, right? Look at that. They can't ascend unless they go through me. Who is that? The real master? Donatello. I mean, that is amazing. Look, they can't ascend unless they go through me. Every knee must bow. In the pulpit. They had him in the pulpit. Look, take a look at that. At the bedside. So we went from Donatello, right, to Antonio. Antonio said, I need to break it down a little bit more. You know how she just birthed a baby. And when we say baby, this could be any creation that we're working on, right? Not just a physical live baby, but a creation, a baby, a project, right? What is that? Birth in a new era. Birth in a new millennium. And I would read this to you in Italian, but a lot of people won't understand unless you're actually of the performing arts. Look, he's like, what is that? Amazing. Oh, now we have Francesco de Giorgio Martini. Now take a look at that. Bernardo Rossellino. I mean, imagine getting commission for this artwork. So these are contractors within the local government. Police officers, I mean, all of them. Governmental magistrates. Look at that. I thought I heard something. Beautiful. There we go. Each and every detail. of marble and clay. Look at this bronze. Oh, look at him. Too cute. This is Eros. Donatello captured Eros. What's in my eagle today? He had to throw it up to God, huh? I threw it up to God. This one is Pier Jacopo Alari Bonacosi Detto La Antico. This is Eros. Throwing it up to God. All praises to the Most High. Now we have Desiderio da Santigano. Too cute. Now take a look at that. So you have to understand, even in these wars, they use those small children in battle too. You know, they used to strap bombs on those children back in the day. There we go. Look at that beautiful artwork. This is Antonio Messalino. Beautiful. Now Bartholomew. And notice how I pronounced it. It's not really pronounced that way, but I love doing that. Counsels evil. So it's Bartholomew. These are the serpents that do low-level serpentry. These would be considered the low-level fact checkers. Look how that is. The low-level fact checkers. I mean, look at that. So he has those, you know, the high school right here. Then we have those with the bachelors, right? Then we have those with those masters. And the elders are those doctors. These are the different levels of serpentry, you know? Yes, it's that 33rd degree. He says shoot it to the 66. 666. Donatello. Okay. So we're back in Madonna. So back in the day, they I don't want to go into depth, but our nuns, those who were considered as nuns, right? Would you say that those nuns are those the women of the deacons in the church these days? They don't go by nuns, right? These are the deaconesses, right? The deaconesses. Now we have Augustino de Ducey. I think that O is silent. I don't remember seeing that O in his name until now. So it's like I'm getting a full experience of the true sculpture. Beautiful. Desiderio de Satigano. We have Luca della Robbia. Notice that we came out of the black, white, and the gray, and we go into the blue setting. Peel his muffin cap back blue. Sitting in the garden, tend to your garden, the garden of your thoughts, right? Take a look at that. So we're seeing the same energy captured in different artists. This is Andrea Del Verricchio. Beautiful. Okay, so this captures the spiritually ill who touched the hem of my garment. These are definitely dead souls. Whether alive, their soul were not in those bodies. So they were looking for solace. They were looking for peace, right? Look. Take a look. Now they tried to hang him upside down by his trapezies, right? These were all people at war with themselves on the inside. But we're going to take it out on him, right? So they did a reversal. This is how they got him on the cross, right? So then they had to flip it in order for the cross to hang like he did hang. So actually, this is them renouncing the death of Jesus Christ. Because it was him to be strengthened, him or her. This is the male aspect, the masculine within the body. This is that energy of actions. Enjoyable. I love the horses because we're moving the energy forward. And we're capitalizing off of the black magic, the dark energy, the dark forces, the negativity, right? We're capitalizing off of that because that's free energy. Capitalizing off the naysayers, right? Okay, now we have the masculine and feminine energy both walking one another, moving it forward. Oh, there we go. Yes, indeed. Look, you have to be childlike to enter the kingdoms of God, right? Oh goodness, I love it. Definitely. What are your dire words? What are your last words? Notice how we have two candles with a cross in the middle, right? We have to light both. I love it. I'm not gonna go too far in depth as to what the sculpture was explaining, but it's amazing. I mean, each part of their clothing give a explanation of what was going on in the era. Allow it to guide you forward. There we go. I'm trying to tell you, resurrectiones, de Cristo, the resurrection of Christ. I'm gonna leave it there.